we're moving on to the NL East, talking some baseball.
Baseball.
We got baseball and hockey today. Come on, give us some love. So, NL East, guys, it's pretty wide open right now. I know the Mets lead by 4 games, but they just lost Jake DeGrom and Lindor to injuries. So, I don't know when they're returning yet. Jake DeGrom is anything involving the elbow makes me nervous. So, I would assume right now, based on reports, that the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets are going to be very aggressive at the deadline. There's no question that all 3 of them are probably out of the wild card. I think the Nats might have also just slipped out of the division discussion because they were looking to be aggressive. They might unload Max Scherzer now. So I'm gonna first say this. We didn't talk about this before. Ronald Acuna towards ACL.
Terrible.
A major loss for the Braves. They traded for Jock Peterson.
Major loss for baseball.
Stephen Vogt already. So Jock Peterson's filling in the outfield. But what is your thought there, first of all, with the Braves? Like, can they recover from that? I know it's pre-deadline talk right now. I assume they're going to be very aggressive, but do you think that the Braves are shot without him? And this is meant to be quick.
Yeah, I don't know if they're totally shot, but I like that they already signed 2 guys. So it leads me to believe they're like, okay, no, this season's not a wash. Like, we're not doing it.
Because this is an MVP player.
Yeah, this is Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, so it's like, at least
they've already been in such a weird team.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're going to compete this year.
So we think they're alive. You don't think they're going to compete this year?
The Braves?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win the East.
Do you think they'll be competitive?
Competitive, yeah.
You think
They
they
had
should-
Freeman.
all right. So you
Freeman
think
was
they
an
should-
MVP
you think
candidate
that they
last year,
should-
so they still have him. But
Okay, all right.
if you lose Acuna, you're in
So
trouble.
we're in agreement that they're all 3 teams are going to go for it. I think it's pretty obvious the Phillies are definitely going to be buying. That's what
They
you
have
said,
to.
and that's
Couldn't tell.
That's what they've said, and that's what Dave Dombrowski's been saying.
DeGrom is coming back, though, by the way.
Yeah, he will.
He will be back.
He will. So
the Phillies need to make a move.
I mean,
ASAP.
Multiple moves.
Yeah.
quick thing about Acuna. though.
MILF moves.
Cards. What's your take?
Since he got injured, the last 30 days, his car prices have been down at least 15% across the board. So for me, like long term, I love Acuna. Yeah, I'm buying Acuna in the offseason 100%. I think it's going to dip even more, and I'll be scooping up some Acunas because I believe in him long term, and I think he's going to be in the MVP conversation possibly next year. I think he's going to come hungry.
I'm in full agreement.
I love him. I think he's a beast.
Bye.
I think the Phillies got really lucky that he got hurt, but it's a shame, man. Like I hate seeing players go down like that.
Game,
it really does. It hurts the game, man. It really does. So
the Phillies find a way to fuck everything up, though. Like they were only a couple games out a few days ago, and I mean, I still think they're buying though. That's what we've heard. So we're gonna go off of that. We've been told that they're gonna maybe even exceed the luxury tax threshold, and they're targeting aggressively for relief pitching, a starter, and a center fielder. I also wouldn't rule out shortstop as a possible need, with Didi definitely exposed on the defensive end and not living up to his offensive end. I mean, Torres, I can't possibly imagine keeping this up. So that's also like a keep that on the DL kind of thing, low-key need. So here's how we're going to approach this. I'm going to start with 3 center fielders that we've been attached to constantly. And I'm going to ask you guys which you prefer because all 3 come with different costs. Okay?
Yep.
You guys good with that?
Mm-hmm.
So first thing, the Twins and Byron Buxton have not agreed on a contract extension. Byron Buxton, rising superstar in this league. He's very injury prone to this date. Was on fire this year, on a ridiculous tear. I think he had 21 extra base hits in 24 games before getting hurt. They maybe hold him out a little longer just to keep him healthy before the deadline. So that's one. So he's probably going to be your mid to high range target. Your high range target, Kris Bryant, MVP type, has shown that already. He's won a World Series. And he's going to need a new contract, but he also can play center field. Has a lot of flexibility. He can play third base too, so you can spot start him for Alec Boehm. He's definitely available. And then you have, and that's the other thing. Byron Buxton's under club control next year. So the Twins might be getting ahead of the game trying to get some extra value for him this year as opposed to trade him deadline next year.
Smart.
So there's that. And then your maybe lowest cost option, which is nothing to snuff at. Starling Marte is available for the Marlins. That's an interdivision team, so I don't know how much that's going to matter, but they're out of it. So he's rejected his contract extension. So of those three options, guys, assuming that it is the costs are exactly what I said. So lowest cost, Marte, mid to high range, Buxton, high range, Kris Bryant. And by the way, Marte has to be extended too. Who you taking? Or I'll even give you a fourth option. Are you staying put in center field?
Dude, honestly, I'm trying to get the best of the best. Like, you can't waste Bryce Harper. You have to go for it.
And Kris Bryant's supposedly close friends with him.
Yeah,
They grew
go
up in
get
Vegas.
Kris Bryant. Go enhance your team. Stop going with bullshit-ass middle-tier players.
But I got to
low-tier
say,
players.
Mike, if you get Kris Bryant and you intend to re-sign him, they probably can't spend any more money like anytime soon. Like that means that this is it. This is your
That's
core.
where I'm at.
That's your core.
Because if you go Kris Bryant, then you're not solving your pitching woes.
That's true. I mean,
So for me, I'm going cheaper option. I would probably look into Buxton because he has a lot of, like high upside, and Marte is the cheaper option. So I would probably go Marte.
I was going to say, if you get Marte, he's boys with McCutcheon from the Pirates days.
Yeah.
He's fast. You could put him at the top of your lineup. So, I mean, I'm not saying they're bad options. To me, that was, I'm just saying, like, you have to do every single thing you can do to not waste Bryce Harper.
I know, but you got to fill all the holes.
I totally agree. Because I also.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause on that
Pause.
family.
Because I want them. Because they need to get relief pitchers. Like, I want them to get Kimbrel.
We'll touch on that.
To be
in a minute.
honest,
we'll
I
touch
do.
on that in a minute.
And even try and get like a starter or something and moving, Vasquez to the bullpen and shit like that. So it's just tough because they have holes to fill, big paws, but they do. So,
What's my motto, Mike? Cheap and what?
cheap and serviceable?
There you go.
Well, Nick, I have to point this out. You were pushing the Travis Jankowski stuff,
Bro, he was
a week
balling
ago.
for us.
But I mean, he went on the IL, so COVID stuff.
Let me
so he'll
explain
be
myself.
back.
Let me explain myself.
So
he was actually playing really well for us. And my thing is, you don't have to trade and move pieces to get another center fielder. You could take the money or use the other pieces that you're going to trade for a center fielder and get pitching. Because
you're
I think
thinking
pitching
rough it-
really matters. Yeah,
So you think it
absolutely.
rough it with like Odubel
they need-
and Jankowski platooning in center field, maybe even Mickey Moniak, who's caught fire in the minors,
if you can get another starter and beef up the bullpen, I am with
and
that.
then you're shooting for like a
100%.
higher end option like Craig Kimbrel.
Because the Phillies don't have trouble scoring,
They don't.
regardless.
Yeah, they don't.
It's their pitching that
They're
loses them the
inconsistent, though.
games. Yes.
But yeah, the pitching, the
So
bullpen is
they need,
fucking
they
garbage.
need a closer.
Again.
They need a closer. They need a setup man, and they need a starter. That's what they need. Center fielder is just like, okay, they need it for long term, but for right now, this season, pitching. If you're gonna make a run, you need pitching. Bottom line, and that's real shit.
Yeah.
So you're saying Bryant, you're saying Marte / stay put.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
without question, I'm going Byron Buxton, and here's why.
I'm not mad about it.
I think that anytime you have a chance to acquire someone with superstar talent, I know that he's had the injuries. I know this. I would give up anything but Mick Abel, honest to God. I would give up anything but Mick Abel.
We don't have anybody else.
I was gonna say, yeah.
We have
Who you
nothing
giving
left,
up?
bro.
To you, yes. They have the higher ceiling guys in the minors. They could get away with a package there, I think. And to me, like, this is a guy you could potentially build around for the entire, like, duration. Assuming he stays healthy, you hope that he can last for most of Bryce Harper's contract. This is a guy who could literally solve everything, I think, if he plays the way he was just playing. He's got pop. He's got top-end speed.
Is he available?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like
health-wise. Durability.
Yeah,
So
is he available?
I'm taking the risk because the Phillies, this is the rare opportunity for a team like the Phillies where they're in like a standstill where they're kind of screwed. Like they bought their team and it's not enough right now. They don't have anything coming up. this would be the biggest move, I think, for them for their future because, I mean, this guy was like getting compared to Trout at one point. He's literally a 5-tool player. He's a Gold Glover already in center field. You solve the defensive woes because our defense is trash too. No one's talking about that. Our defense is trash. So you're solving center field. You're solving a potential top of the lineup bat. 1 or 2 hole hitter. He's got the speed to steal bases, and he's got massive pop too. And he was hitting he's hitting well over 300 this year. 21 extra base hits in 24 games. Like, he's been a hot and cold player, but I'm willing to gamble on this guy being a superstar right alongside Bryce Harper for his career. And also, I don't think it removes you from the Kimbrel conversation. I think you'll wind up losing, but I'd rather settle on a guy who's like just beneath him and, work it out there. Because I don't know if Craig Kimbrel's fixing this bullpen anyway. But I think that there's still going to be
gives you a reliable arm.
But I do think that this doesn't remove them from the Kimbrel talks. I do think that. I think that they'd be alive in both still. It's just a matter of how much Dombrowski's willing to pay, and I think he's willing to pay anything.
They need another starter, though.
If they got Buxton and Kimbrel, I would be satisfied with that. I think that would be really good.
That would be an A+.
It would be great, but
I mean, you're still lacking a starter. But at that point, at least you have a reliever that can come in.
Because the other thing is if Byron Buxton, I mean, the cost right now they were talking like a $70 million extension. He declined that, but if it's somewhere in that ballpark, like 80, 90 mil, you're going to also get him at a massive bargain for what, like, if he is going to be a superstar, that's a massive bargain.
But my thing
I think it's a really rare opportunity. Like, these guys don't come available at all, ever. This is a rare opportunity.
They're not beating the Giants. They're not beating the Padres. They're not beating the Dodgers. What's the point?
I mean, I'm saying...
You go for pitching. That gives you the best chance to win in October.
My thought process is this is someone you could build around for your future, though, too. Like, it enhances your chances this year of winning the division and maybe making a run because you're assuming that Nola pitches like he did last outing and Wheeler's been a Cy Young guy. You're assuming their top 3 can get you through the playoffs. We're not going to care as much about the 4th and 5th starter in the playoffs. We are going to care about bullpens, so they're going to have to address that. No matter what, they're going to need to add 2 arms. No matter what.
But if Buxton plays lights out with the Phillies, then my thing is he's going to command big money. Are they able to sign him?
Yeah.
Because if they are...
Definitely. He's not going to be able to command as much as a guy like Kris Bryant.
Yeah,
he's going to be...
That doesn't make sense for them.
I don't think he's going to eclipse 100 mil. I mean, I think that it's a rare opportunity. It's a really rare opportunity. People probably don't know him that well, honestly. I think he'd be a hit here. I really do. I think it's a perfect fit.
So you're going with the upside.
Massive. And it's not just upside, but he's producing right now.
Yeah.
He just needs to stay on the field.
And that's where Mike says, is he available?
But the Phillies just don't have, like... I mean, besides a couple of guys, like, you got Harper, Real Muto, and assuming Nola gets back to where he is, and Wheeler, you don't have high-end players. Like, this is a massive opportunity.
It could be.
Massive.
Could be. Yeah.
I think you just take your shot because this team's not going anywhere anyway as it appears right now.
Yeah,
they don't have anything in the pipeline.
I do kind of actually in that light. I kind of I kind of understand what you're saying.
Take a swing at it.
Like, because as currently constructed, they ain't doing shit.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
The upside, and the problem he's only 27.
On the subject of, like you were saying, that what do you have to lose? The problem is you paid Bryce Harper all that money. You do stand to lose a lot.
But that's the thing, though, is I think that you're putting a guy alongside Bryce Harper for the long haul. Yeah. I really do believe this. I was always high on this player, and he's finally putting it all together. He just needs to stay on the field. I really wouldn't be surprised if they're just holding him out so that he's 100% healthy for the deadline. I really would not be surprised.
That's probably true.
The Twins are completely out of contention this year, which is a surprise, honestly.
But aren't you guys like tired of seeing the Phillies below leads?
Well, no, I'm saying they're going. Yeah. They're going to get.
That's my point.
They're going to get 2 bullpen arms no matter what.
They need to.
I think if you go for Kris Bryant, it's going to be a lot tougher. But they're.
I wasn't even thinking that when you were saying that because I'm automatically going to name. I'm like, you know what? Bring him in. Let's go.
Dombrowski already traded for Kimbrel in Boston, so I think he's in on it as much as anybody. And the way he's pitching right now is like prime Craig Kimbrel. I mean, he's got a .5 ERA. He rediscovered his form, so
really
he'd be a massive game.
Yeah, we need
Period.
You need somebody that when they come in, you don't think like we're fucked. Because every time we go to our bullpen, everybody's saying that.
And it sucks too because the Phillies can score. They still can score with their lineup right now. But if you add pitching, you add a closer, I think they're in better position to compete.
Without a doubt.
And possibly actually win the East.
And when you have an off night hitting and you only score a run or two.
Exactly.
There you go. You shouldn't have to score 8 runs a game.
And that's why I wouldn't overspend for Bryant. That doesn't make any sense to me. Buxton, I can get on board with that. I see where you're at.
He's still under club control, so you technically don't have to sign him till after next year. You can go into arbitration.
And I see what you're saying now with Bryant. I'm actually the more I think about it now, I would stay away because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
The players.
But Marte wouldn't be bad.
No, not at all.
Keep him serviceable.
Yeah,
that's the route I go. Honestly,
I mean, my perfect plan: the Phillies acquire Buxton and Kimbrel, and they go all out to get both of them. I mean, they might have to deal somebody they don't want to give up to get both of them. I'm going all out for those two, but also I signed Cole Hamels to be my 4th starter the rest of the way.
Without a doubt.
Not even a question.
Yeah, I want Cole Hamels.
I do not want Cole Hamels.
If he's healthy, how not?
He hasn't pitched in a whole year, a year and a half.
But 2 years ago, he's pitching great ball. So
2 years ago, he's 37. I don't want him.
He was injured.
Jamie Moyer came back.
Well, do you want Matt Moore, Chase Anderson, Vince Velasquez? To me, it's a no-brainer because you can sign him for. Yeah, I mean, fuck, I'd take Jamie Moyer.
Oh my God,
come back,
dude.
What is he, 55?
I would take Cole Hamels, dude.
I would not.
Bring him back.
That doesn't solve anything.
You don't know.
No, it does. The back end of the rotation, I think it helps tremendously.
He hasn't pitched in a year and a half. He's 37.
Bro, how can it get worse?
There was a lot of teams at the game that he was playing, right?
Everybody was impressed.
Yeah, well, impressed, but he's not signed. How impressed were they?
They're lost.
That's because they're
lost.
They're waiting to see what happens at the deadline, and he's still rehabbing right now. So
I want nothing to do with him.
Sorry to hear that.
it's an easy.
He won us a ring. Cool, man. Go retire.
I mean, you're probably going to have to pay him $5 million.
Go retire.
It's an easy low-cost flyer.
Retire.
Easy. I'm not even thinking twice.
Retire.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
I am crazy. I'm psychotic and iconic.
I don't want to go all analytics on your ass because we're running.